Thank you very much. Grazie. I went to Bologna for 4 days. It was a very interesting trip. I missed my flight, but I got there eventually, but that's not the point of this video. We're here to talk about what Bologna is like for a wheelchair user. I don't know why I'm speaking so high-pitched like. So, Bologna is a really small city, and that has a massive benefit in the sense that it's quite easy to get around. You have two options when going around Bologna. You can either take the bus or you can walk. I took the bus more than often because my hotel was slightly out of city centre because it was a bit cheaper and I wasn't going to spend an unnecessary amount of money just so I can walk everywhere. I saved money taking the bus. I'm very happy about that decision. But the buses are all accessible. The key thing about the bus is to remember that you need to look at a bus that has a disabled sign on it. And I thought all the buses had that, but apparently not. So Mum, how many buses have gone by?
2.
Why?
No ramp.
We didn't have this problem yesterday, did we?
No, we didn't.
Today's gonna be fun, isn't it?
Today's gonna be a fun day.
It also helps that you can speak some Italian, which I don't. Like, I can't. The Italian didn't really work out. I knew grazie and prego, buongiorno, and that was about it. And when the bus driver is asking you what station or stop you want to get off at and you can't answer it because you don't know what she's saying and she doesn't know what you're saying, it don't really help. But thankfully I went with my mum and I knew when I wanted to get off, so I was like, Mom, just you know, get her attention and stuff so I don't have to ride the bus to God knows where. The buses are good, it just helps to know a bit of Italian. And if not, just yell and scream, they'll stop the bus for you eventually. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyways, moving on. Once you're in city centre, there are many things that you can do when you're in Bologna. Now, when I went to Bologna, I obviously went because I wanted to experience the culture and learn the history and really understand Bologna in all its beauty. But then I got there and I was interested in one thing only. Food. Yeah, it's normal to just have like videos and pictures of food when you come back from a holiday, right? Like that's not weird, is it? Like that's okay, right? But if you actually want to do more than just, you know, eat your way to an early grave, there are some pretty cool things you can do if you're wheelchair user in Bologna. First things first is Sala Borsa. Sala Borsa is one of the libraries you get near Piazza Maggiore. And it's a free library to enter, and it has one thing that I really love, which is if you walk and you look down to the glass floor, you can see the ruins beneath the building. Like they built the library above the ruins, and I was like, what? You can take a lift down to go to the ruins like face to face and have like an in-depth conversation about their history and be like, why are you here ruining things? Please don't judge me. But unfortunately the ruins themselves, you need stairs to get actually into them because it's narrow walkways and it's not very accessible. So if you do want to have a look-see, just look down through the floor on the main ground floor building because getting in it's not going to happen. Sorry! Also, Sala Borsa is the best place if you want to go to the loo and you need a disabled toilet because it's free. Next on the list is Arcignazio. Arcignazio is in the oldest university in Bologna, and if my history is correct, which it really isn't because I didn't pay attention, I think it's the oldest university in Europe. Don't quote me on that. But Arcignazio is basically a university building, and you can go look at the old lecture theatres where they used to cut up dead people. If you want to get into Arcignazio, you do need to go through the architectural museum next door. You can either go through the front door and ask them, or you can go around. There's a back door on the side. You press a buzzer and then someone will come and open the door for you and lead you through the paths and alleyways to get into Arcignazio. Arcignazio is free, by the way, for disabled peoples and their companions. Saving money. And on top of being able to see the actual lecture theatre, you also get entry into the, I think it's one of the library rooms, because we walked in, I was just books for days, and the nerd in me literally could not help but squeal because they were just so beautiful old. So beautiful. Let's talk basilicas, shall we? There are two basilicas which I visited when I was in Bologna. The first one is the main one, Basilica Sempron. Words fail me. I'm this building right here. This building right here. Here's the thing about this building. It's the main church that everyone goes to when they're talking about Bologna, because it's the one in Piazza Maggiore. Problem is, this one actually, as far as I could find, had no access. Like, we walked around the whole building and I couldn't find a way in that wasn't basically like the Spanish Steps, like loads of steps. So, as far as I know, y'all aren't getting in there if you need to. The other church I went to was the Basilica of St. Mary de Vita something 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 something. The name is written here. And that was a church which had a sculpture, which I was actually quite looking forward to seeing, which was of basically Jesus' friends and family mourning over his dead body. And I really wanted to look at it. I thought that was going to be really cool. And you can get into the church, that's not a problem, and getting into the church is free. The only thing is, to actually see the sculpture, you need to climb up a couple sets of stairs. And I was like, ugh, bun me, bruh. So that's kind of annoying. But you can also see a picture of the sculpture before you enter the main church building. So that kind of made up for it, so it was kind of okay, but still not the greatest thing ever. But if you do want to know about other things to do with the museums and touristy things, the Bologna welcome website is actually quite helpful. It's in English, so you can actually have a look and see how much things cost, whether it's free for carers or whether you can enter the buildings at all, which is what I did when I was looking for stuff to do before I went. The final thing to mention is actually the hotel. So we stayed at Ramada Encore Hotel and Spa, which was in the area of Ferraris. It's about a 15-minute, 20-minute, 25-minute bus journey from city centre, which I defined as Piazza Maggiore. It's actually a really good hotel. I think we spent 146 for 4 nights for 2 people at the hotel. And the hotel, considering its price, is surprisingly accessible. It was near a major bus route, which was the main option why I went there, because I can get in and out of town easily. The hotel itself was clean and spacious. I mean, it had some questionable sculptures in reception. I was a bit like, modern art? But basically when you come in, the room that you stay in will be in this door here. I think it's a new extension to the hotel. And the room itself was actually alright. I mean, I've seen better, but I've definitely seen worse. Things to note are basically in the bathroom, the toilet and the shower chair, way high. And I mean like high. Way too high for anyone with mobility issues to actually use comfortably. I was quite lucky that I had my mum with me to support me to get on it, because if I was by myself, I would not have been able to actually get myself on it with ease. And I'm quite short because of the way my knees bend, but even with my splints, I was still struggling, and my splints straighten my legs out, so I have about an extra 8 inches of height. No, longer than that, taller than that, and I was still struggling. Another thing is that the room itself is actually quite spacious. It's enough for me to get my chair. My chair is about 70 centimeters wide, to maneuver the room quite easily. The bed is way too small for 2 people. There's no way in hell 2 people fit in that comfortably. Me and mum we were basically cuddling every night because there wasn't space. And I'm convinced one night I may have actually nearly pushed her off the bed. All in all, not too bad. I think mum and I agree that if we ever went to Bologna again, that hotel will be okay to stay in, because it's manageable. It's not great, but it's manageable. And that is essentially my review of my trip to Bologna. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I try and do holiday reviews whenever I go on holiday, because travelling with a disability is hella interesting, and I think it's nice to offer some advice, or at least some of my experiences, to other people so they know what to expect when they go. Comment down below if you've ever been to Bologna or Italy, or actually your experience of taking a plane. that's what I was going to talk about. I nearly forgot about. I took a plane to Bologna this time, and it's been a while since I've taken a plane in my wheelchair. And I made a video about this before because I was slightly worried about it because the last time it went terrible. Click above, you'll see what I'm on about. But it actually was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Obviously I missed my flight, so I took another flight and I had to rebook all the assistants last minute. And while there was an issue with me taking my chair apart and actually getting the battery disconnected, the people on both airlines, Welling and EasyJet, handled it very well. Yeah, I'd happily take those two airlines again. I recommend EasyJet simply because I've used them before and I've used them now again recently, and both times it's been fine. Welling were alright. I think the only thing was they put me in row 15, which was really stupid because it was in the middle of the plane and I was in the middle seat as well, so if anyone wanted to get out, I was blocking them. And if I wanted to get out, I had to go through people. So it's like, bun my life. I don't need to pee apparently. Airlines, vultures and disabilities. I might do a proper, more in-depth conversation later because this video is getting long enough anyways. But that's it for now, guys. Until next time.